Wimbledon, French Open, US Open and Australian Open. These are the Grand Slams that come to mind when one talks about tennis. But a new name is doing the rounds on the circuit. No, it's not an ATP event, nor is it a Grand Slam. But it's an exhibition tournament that will feature some of the biggest names from the world of tennis. Saudi Arabia is all set to host the Six Kings Slam. The exhibition tournament will feature 5 Grand Slam winners, as the tournament will take place in the month of October. It will see the participation of Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner, Daniil Medvedev and Holger Rune. This is Saudi's latest addition to its other sporting conquests. First it was Formula 1, then came golf, followed by football. From buying foreign teams to inking multi-billion-dollar athlete contracts, Saudi Arabia is heavily investing in a bid to change the country's image and put them on the global sporting map. According to reports, Saudi has spent over $6.5 billion in the past 3 years from its public investment fund. Right from attracting star footballers like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema and Neymar to the cash-rich Saudi Pro League, to making forays into other sporting disciplines. They've gone the whole hog in their quest to become a powerhouse in the sporting world. So much so that about a month ago, Cristiano Ronaldo even called Saudi's football league better than the French league, which happens to be ranked 5th in the world's top football leagues.
To be honest, I think the Saudi league is not worse than French league, to be in my opinion. In French league, I think you have 2-3 teams with a good level. In Saudi now, I think it's a more competitive. They can say whatever they want, it's just my opinion, and I played there 1 year, so I know what I'm talking about. But I think right now we are better than French league, so we still improve.
If a football icon like Ronaldo moves to Saudi and calls it better than one of the top 5 European leagues, it's bound to make waves. Saudi is also set to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. Many called this move as sports washing and compared it to Qatar doing that in 2022. It didn't stop there. Saudi even entered the Formula 1 world. They introduced the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which first took place in 2021. The Grand Prix has received criticism from various organizations, citing the abuse of human rights in Saudi Arabia. Human Rights Watch also condemned the decision, arguing that it is a strategy to distract people from Saudi Arabia's human rights abuses. Despite facing resistance, Saudi continues to pave its way in sports across. In 2021, it introduced Live Golf in a bid to attract global superstars. The move was on the verge to become a successful one before PGA, the organizer of professional golf tours, found investment from private investors that started the talks of Live players going back to PGA.
So I would say that, there's a handful of players on Live that would make the tour a better place, but I'm definitely not in the agreement that should just be able to come back that easily. I think there's a lot of us that made sacrifices and we're very, either whether it's true to our word or what we believe in, or just didn't make that decision. And I totally understand that things are changing and things are getting better, but I would have a hard time with it, and I think a lot of guys would have a hard time with it, and I'm sure we don't need to convince you why we would have a hard time with it. I think there's a scenario somewhere, whatever it is, down the road of some kind of version of some guys being back, but when and what that is, I have no idea.
After football and Formula 1, Saudi is set to enter the world of tennis. In addition to the Six Kings Slam, Saudi also made Nadal the brand ambassador for the Saudi Tennis Foundation.
It's a big opportunity to develop important things in a country that has the potential to grow, a country that is opening and is investing a lot in a sport. No? And I really hope that we can achieve the goals that the country wants. No? Probably the biggest goal is to encourage more and more the people, and especially the younger generations, to practice the sport. No, I think grow practicing a sport, in that case tennis, but the sport in general, I think, has a lot of positive things.
Saudi is slowly making its way to tennis. It's believed that the women's professional tennis tour is reportedly preparing to announce that the season-ending WTA Tour finals will take place in Saudi Arabia. The news received a lot of criticism from both current and former women tennis players. While star players like Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal agreed voluntarily for their exhibition game, it may not be the case for women players, given it's a decision of the governing body. Four-time Grand Slam winner Iga Swiatek was a bit skeptical about the decision too. About a month ago, she expressed her concerns on the same. There were a lot of rumors about the WTA finals going to Saudi. We're still waiting for the decision. It was always hard for me to say if it's good or not because it's not easy for women in these areas. Obviously, these countries also want to change and improve politically and sociologically. It's not easy to decide. Also, in terms of many events that were held, there were rumors about sports washing. It should be up to the federations and the governing bodies who decide if we're going to play there or not, if there would be some negative backlash. The criticism didn't die down there. Former tennis players Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert penned a letter to WTA Executive Chairman Steve Simon and expressed strong concerns. In the letter they wrote, "We believe allowing Saudi Arabia to host the WTA finals is entirely incompatible with the spirit and purpose of women's tennis and the WTA itself. Not only is this a country where women are not seen as equal, it is a country which criminalizes the LGBTQ community. A country whose long-term record on human rights and basic freedoms has been a matter of international concern for decades." The quarrel over Saudi's influence in sports will continue to linger. The question of whether it's sports washing or not will become louder as it continues to make its moves. But the influence of star players will certainly make the move profitable. The constant influx of money will yield positive results. But will those results be desirable for the sporting industry? Or will the takeover impact the sole motive of sports, the means to unite the world?
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.